A national state of emergency has now been declared in Ethiopia just one day after the unexpected resignation of Prime Minister Hailemariam Desalegn. A statement by the state broadcaster, they said the move was necessary to stem a wave of anti-government protests. Hundreds of people have died in 3 years of unrest in the country. A 10-month state of emergency that ended last year failed to stop the protests, as did the release from jail of thousands of opposition supporters.
Prime Minister Desalegn resigned on Thursday in what is said was a bid to smooth reforms. Amnesty International, however, says there are still simmering tensions in the country and the heavy-handedness of the military authorities clamping on dissent.
Even if the Prime Minister is resigning, even if the POCs have been released, the clampdown on protest is ongoing in Ethiopia. So we are not sure which direction the country is taking right now.
More than 6,000 prisoners have been freed since January. The rights group says this could usher in a new era of tolerance and respect for human rights.
Most of the people were in prison as per the anti-terrorism proclamation Ethiopia has adopted in 2009, and that law is still there. And it's a very draconian law which allows arrest of people for exercising their rights. The Church and Societies law, which affects the civic space for political engagement, is still there. And the repression on journalists and media houses is still there.
It is not clear who will replace Desalegn. His party, the EPDRF, a coalition of 4 political parties, has 100% representation in parliament. Skeptics say little will change until dialogue is embraced. Ultimately, Amnesty International says there should be justice for human rights abuses committed since 1991.
We have been saying repeatedly that people have been tortured, they have faced very serious human rights violations, they have faced cruel treatment in prison. So all those people who have been responsible, who are the perpetrators of all these violations, need to be brought to justice.
Warning that resignation of Desalegn and the release of political prisoners should not be used to whitewash the past. Sarah Kimani, SABC News, Kenya.